All right, buddy. Why don't you start by telling me what exactly has been bothering you recently? Well, Doc, the real question is, what isn't bothering me? I wake up upset. I go to sleep upset. I lash out at the people closest to me, and I seem to treat the people worst in my life the best. There's no rhyme or reason to the decisions I make, and everything I do seems to chip away at my self-esteem. I used to want to be somebody, and I mean be somebody really great. But nowadays I think about myself, and I just feel an overwhelming sense of shame. And it's gotten to the point where I'm no longer frustrated. I'm no longer angry. I'm not even disappointed in myself. Because when I get up in the morning and I go to wash my face or brush my teeth, when I look in the mirror and I see the husk of a person that looks back, I just feel nothing. Nothing at all. Wow. In all my years of practicing medicine, I've never heard someone quite like you. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. You're screwed. You're screwed. You say you're helpless? Helpless, right? You're helpless. I'm helpless. There's not a thing I could do to help you. I mean, oh my God. The horror. How do you go on living like that? When you said you were in a dark place, I didn't know that meant you would drag me down with you. Whew. I quit. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the OG room. If you've been watching, you would know that I was in a different room because of problems with my building. And it was very blank and it was very echoey. Like what is going on here? And I'll let me explain. Okay, I'm gonna explain it right now. About a week ago. Yeah. But we are back in my actual room. We've got the foam pads to reduce echo a little bit, and it's less depressing. Today I'm here to talk about BetterHelp. I don't know exactly the years at which it was most popular, but I think it was somewhere around 2017 to 2020. It was popping off in the YouTube sponsorship game. I'm talking up there with the likes of Wix, of Factor, of HelloFresh, even the likes of Shadow Raid Legends. And I mean, I could be wrong about that, but as far as I know, it was everywhere. And it couldn't have become popular at a better time. I mean, this was like around 2020. Do we remember what happened in 2020? Yeah, we were all locked in our houses because of the pandemic. We all got a little bit crazy then, need a little bit of therapy. But its tear through the YouTube scene stopped, I think, as far as I know, when people like PewDiePie started making videos being like, hey, what's up with this company? Now, they didn't exactly call it a scam, but other people who weren't public figures were quick to call it a scam. And I think I watched a couple of those videos because, I mean, I don't know where else I would have gotten this idea that it was a scam from. But is BetterHelp even a scam? I don't know. I'm actually trying to find that out today because I swear I've heard it somewhere, right? Someone has said it's a scam before, but I need to find out if it's an actual scam. So first we're starting, as all good things do, on Reddit. This post says, it's mental health app BetterHelp a scam. The person's basically just wondering, is this a scam? Can I trust this? Now, as I was going through it, I was getting a little bit of back and forth. Some people were saying it's not really a scam. Some people were saying these people they're dirty, like they're preying on people that need therapy. They're terrible, so it is a scam. Some people are like, oh no, it's great, I actually really liked it. But I found one post in particular that says, they say essentially that they can't guarantee any particular counselor is appropriate for dealing with your specific problem. Real therapy can't make that guarantee either, though they may be better at it. Edit, as Napoleon Bonaparte oh no, sorry, that says Napoleon Bonaparte. Okay, maybe we shouldn't use Reddit as a source. We are gonna skip that comment, but you can still look at Reddit to see what people think about it. It doesn't mean it's true, but people clearly do seem to think BetterHelp is a scam. But as I'm making this video, I realized I kind of skipped over it. What exactly is BetterHelp? BetterHelp, as far as I'm aware, is basically online therapy. And that's really all I thought it was. Online therapy, you know, in the sponsorships, of course, it sounds like a good deal. But apparently the therapists on BetterHelp don't really have to be verified therapists. So that means you could basically get a guy like this. Okay, you're depressed, you haven't been eating, and you don't have the will to get out of bed anymore. Have you tried drinking water? Apparently, it can just be a guy or a girl or whoever. It could literally be, I could go on there. I could go on there. That's right, everyone. Today we are becoming professional therapists on BetterHelp. Okay, yeah, no. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. I think that might be illegal, actually. So I'm not gonna do that. But what I was gonna do is try and invade BetterHelp, by which I mean pay for BetterHelp and get my own therapist. But after thinking about it for like 5 seconds, I was like, maybe it's not cool to get therapy when I don't actually want the therapy, because then I might just be taking the therapy away from some person that would actually need it. On top of that, it's too much money for me, and also I don't need therapy, okay? You might need it, but me, this guy, no. I don't need therapy, okay? I don't flip-flop emotions like some people that might have just gone through a traumatic event do, you know? Oh, I'm out of water. Just kidding. I've gone to therapy in the past, and it was also an online format, so that's why I'm kind of like, I don't think online therapy is necessarily a bad thing, but it is bad when you get Joe Schmo, you know, doing it for you. But that begs the question, you know, even if it is Joe down the corner, right? Joe Schmo, right? John Doe, maybe Jane Doe, right? Even if they're an unqualified bum, some of you will take all the help you can get. Some of you need all the help you can get. I'm just kidding, don't take that seriously. But one of the reasons that I'm not seeking out BetterHelp is because of the price. I don't have money for that. So while we're on the topic, why don't we look at the pricing of BetterHelp to see how it compares to actual therapy. Now, after looking at BetterHelp's therapy, and by that I mean really looking because you have to scroll way to the bottom to find that pricing, I found that it was about $70 to $100 per week. And after a quick Google search using the AI overview, so please don't, you know, take this as like a real thing, therapy can range between about $100 and $200. So maybe BetterHelp is on the cheaper side of things, yeah, but it's not cheap. If you decided to get BetterHelp for a single year, right, you went every week for 1 year, that's it. And we use the cheapest possible therapy that they offer, which I'm sure it's not that cheap, but you went for once a week for 52 weeks for 1 year, that's 3.6 grand. 3.6 grand? I've got 3.6 No, I've got no money. Now, while that's a lot of money for just 1 year of therapy, it honestly could be worse. You know, clearly it could be worse. In-person therapy costs up to $200 sometimes. It's definitely way more. But what I find funny is that BetterHelp markets themselves as way more advantageous than in-person therapy. In fact, on their website, they actually have a comparison between the two. The first of which says provided by a licensed therapist. They both have a check mark for that. They do list in-person visits as a disadvantage of BetterHelp, but they also give the advantage of messaging at any time, chat sessions,
phone sessions, video sessions, easy scheduling, digital worksheets, group sessions.
Actually, for group sessions, it just has a question mark under in person. So I don't know what that means. But they also have smart provider matching, easy to switch providers, and access therapy from anywhere. Now, to be honest with you, I think the easy scheduling thing is kind of dumb, because I'm sure I could easily schedule in-person visits. But honestly, BetterHelp doesn't sound too bad, which is why I'm curious as to what the actual scandal is. Yeah, you could get Joe Schmo, Joe down the block, you know, John Doe, you know, Jane Doe. Yeah, you could get them, and they could be a terrible therapist, but then you can just switch. So I don't really see what the problem is here. Until I actually researched what the scandal was. It says the Federal Trade Commission has announced a proposed action against the online therapy service BetterHelp for mishandling consumers' private health information, particularly regarding mental health issues, and using it for advertisement purposes. If I wanted that done, I would just... there's a joke here, hold on. If I wanted my health information public, I'd just... No. If I wanted my If I wanted my health information made public, I would just go on a manic rant on Facebook. Because Facebook has had many allegations about stuff like that. Because Facebook famously sells data to other people. Wasn't worth the time I spent making that joke. Back to the video at hand. So okay, they sell your data, and they might give you Joe Schmo, Joe down the block, John Doe, Jane Doe, as your therapist. Is that bad? Is that really that bad? Yeah, that's pretty bad. But is BetterHelp a scam? No, it's not really. In my eyes, yeah, BetterHelp is probably not the best, but it's also a victim to one of those things where people, I actually don't even know if people still think it's that bad. Did I make this up? I might have made this up. But BetterHelp definitely has a bad rap, and I think a lot of people just, I mean, at least I did. I just was like, yeah, BetterHelp's bad. And I never even confirmed that for myself. But would I use BetterHelp? No, probably not. If they sell my data once, I wouldn't trust them to not do it again. Especially not when it comes to my mental health, because that's like the most personal thing ever. Like, watch this, ready? See, I could have just thought anything, and you'll never know. The moral of the story is, while BetterHelp might not be a perfect therapy service, it's probably better than nothing. And you also have to be careful when you call things scams, because not everything is a scam because it's bad. But again, what would I know about therapy? I would never need therapy. I'm the most stable guy on the planet. I'll see. Oh, I hit my knee there. Ooh, that kind of hurt. No, that hurt. You did this.